Hey, all right, I got another verse. And he's given me so many verses all at once, so much information. And it's just pouring out. And like I said, the way each verse relates to each other as we go on. Look, things, I just feel urgency to put them out. So as he gives me and directs me, I'll put it out because I just feel like this information that he's given me and I go through and he's showing me, he wants it out there. And there's an urgency to it. We definitely, he's telling us right now to make a decision right now. So here we go. And the way he throws these verses at me in front of me, it's so random. It's crazy. It's beautiful. This is Deuteronomy 6, verse 6. So, and these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. Okay. You know, you got to read it in its context and everything. And boy, this fits right in with you reading the verses above, below. Just fits right in perfectly. So let's take every word back to the origin. And I'm using my sword on my Android phone, which includes the Greek and Hebrew lexicon and Strong's. Very similar to eSword in a lot of ways. So here we go. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 6. Speaking on the manner of the cause of a thing concerning a commandment of the disease, due to favoring evil and iniquity, of lying, of the deception, pertaining to the promise, and questioning the purpose, questioning the purpose of the first commandment, I believe that's referring to, is a sign of uncleanliness that is done concerning a warning of a command, a thought to nafal, And nafal, the definition is that to do something, to leave, to disappear, to go into exile, And he says we're all foreigners, aliens, strangers. We are all exiled. Exiled from where? Where have we been exiled from? Above. Okay, led away. We've been led away. Subdued, to be destroyed. Ordained by a divine act or commandment. By disobeying our Father. Disobeying Him. Turning our face away from Him. All right. I'm right behind you, man. I'll be right behind you. Yeah, to leave, disappear, to go into exile. That's what nafal means, to nafal. So, and it was a warning, a commandment of our Father, and we've turned our face away from Him by a thought led away to be destroyed. Okay, so led away, to be subdued, to be destroyed, ordained by a divine act or His commandment, as a division of light and darkness, as a division of the light and the darkness, perpetually required by a process of time, This is a purification system we're living in. He wants us all to turn back to Him, to go back home. Satan deceived us in darkness with a lie, and Christ came in here to reveal the light and the truth to bring us back home. It's so beautiful. All right. Perpetually required by a process of time, in trouble, as an age of man's will and heart and soul, understanding moral character, courage, enclosed as if by fat. In parentheses it said, as if by fat. It's our flesh, so we're enclosed in our flesh, which is darkness. And it says to unheart, which means to discourage or deprive the will, to persist in something. So this is done to discourage us and to deprive us. Like all the troubles we go through once we turned away from the source of all light and truth and love. So there's that. It discourages us. That is, okay, to persist in something. Okay, so deprive us of the will to persist in something. Okay, but in a good sense, to transport with love, or in a bad sense, to stultify, S-T-U-L-T-I-F-Y, stultify. And that means to lose enthusiasm, to be discouraged, especially as a result of a tedious or restrictive routine. So here's another hint in his word that he's given me in two completely different verses, but one says to shut the mouth by a religious act, right? To shut the mouth. Okay, and here it says to stultify, to lose enthusiasm, to be discouraged, especially as a result of a tedious or restrictive. We're all restricted, where we can go, what we can do, and being restricted on the internet too. This is revealing everything, what's happening right now, censorship, everything. So of a tedious or restrictive routine, to be foolish and ravish, which means to be seized and carried off by a force, to fill someone with intense delight of man's sexual pleasure, to be enraptured with, and that's good and evil. To know, to have the knowledge of good and evil, which God forbid, because he knew how strong the delusion is. And there's similar words that are to enrapture, and it means an entrance. And you can use your own imagination to figure out what that is. The entrance into this world that we all came in, okay? Because it did say man's sexual pleasure, okay? An entrance, or to be captivated by, to be bewitched, or spellbound, or fascinated with, transported to, or blown away by the baffling wind, right? But it also said to rapture, to be caught up, okay, or to be raptured and pulled down violently. Downward though. So when we're doing this of our own will, there's so many things. Oh man, of our own will to know good and evil, be caught and pulled down. Okay, we all are either completely enraptured. Oh, so there it is. But he gave me a word after this, and I'm going to tell you what the Holy Spirit told me that this verse means basically, and what he wants us to know. We all we all are either completely enraptured by the things and treasures of this world, or by the gifts and treasures of God, by the spiritual world, by the indwelling of his Holy Spirit. He reveals himself, the truth, the light, the love, the perfection. Okay? So you can't be both. Like I said in the previous verse I just went over earlier, you can't be both. You cannot be both. That's being lukewarm and indecisive. You're being indecisive and lukewarm, and you're going to be shaken. And he says that. You will be shaken. This is what his Holy Spirit told me. You will be shaken to wake up to the truth, but many will curse God because they are too conceited and blind. Conceited, too prideful, full of excessive pride, like was Satan's downfall. And blind, they cannot see the reality of the true nature of this world, this dimension, this simulation, this falsehood of deceit that we are trapped in by the covering of darkness in our flesh. It's all through his word. Look, these words are repeated multiple times in every single book of the Bible. In multiple verses in every single book of the Bible. So how can the teachers and the spiritual leaders of the day just be glossing over this and not see it? We're esteeming the teaching of men is what we're doing, is what the majority of the world has done. They are esteeming the teaching of man more than the teaching of God's Holy Spirit and being led by his Holy Spirit. You have to completely let go. There's a reason he says, let no man teach you. The Holy Spirit will lead you into all truth and righteousness. Look, I'm not knocking these guys. They do a lot of good work, and people in the church, we all have a different job to do, but we're all part of one body. But man, he wants us to understand what this world is, the reason for it, why he allowed things to play out the way they are. And it's through the complete love and free will. He loves us so much, he's willing to let us do, whatever. I wouldn't say what we want to do. I mean, we're gonna reap what we sow. I mean, there's there's spiritual laws at work here and work in the physical. But it's all designed to turn us back to him. Everything's designed. What Satan means for evil, he means for good. Everything's designed to turn us back to our Father. And it's a beautiful love story. He died for us. He came here and died for us. So understand that. He showed us the way, to show us the way to go back home. And he wants us to win that prize. So we say, death, where's your sting? Be caught up together with him in the air. You either love this world and want to stay here, or you love and trust God and want to go home. There's that. There it is. All right. You can't say both. You can't have cursing and blessing coming out of the same mouth. You cannot. You don't understand what this world is. We have broken the first commandment, and therefore we've broken them all by doing that. And if you study the commandments thoroughly, you'll see it. Take every word back to its origin. You'll see it. All right. So there's that. God bless. Love, respect, everybody. He's telling us to make a choice right now, and there's a reason for that. Understand that. All right. Have a great day. Bye.